Hey guys, Madhav here from Biztech. So in this video, I'll be talking about how to prepare an effective introduction. So to begin with, I'll be giving my introduction and how I prepared, how I went about preparing it. So I'll give you two versions of my intro, right? First will be the version that I usually started with in the beginning, and the second one would be a refined version of my introduction, right? So here goes the first version. I hail from Gurgaon. I have done my schooling from DPS Gurgaon itself, and I received gold medal over there for academic excellence. Post that, I did my engineering from BITS Plani Goa campus in a dual degree program of economics and computer science. Over there, I participated in some extracurricular activities also, and I also received merit scholarship for being in top 3% of my batch. After my time in BITS Plani, I did internship in JP Morgan in a pure financial role. And after that, I joined Revigo, which is a unicorn startup, as a tech developer, software development engineer, and I worked over there for 3 years. Um, I was part of some of the big projects over there, for example, warehouse management system. After some time, I decided to do an MBA, and that's when I joined IIM Lucknow. During my free time, I like to do gymming, yoga, or read books. So a bit long, but this is the basic version of my introduction. Now, a more refined version of how I introduce myself, right? So here it goes. I hail from Gurgaon. I've spent most of my life over there. I've seen that city turn from a real jungle to a concrete jungle right in front of my eyes. I've always believed that studies is an important aspect of anyone's life, partly because of the fact I understand how much my parents have worked hard to give me the life that I have. That's why I received a gold medal during my schooling for academic excellence. Similarly, because of my hard work, I was able to get admission into a premier institute of India, that is BITS Pilani Goa campus. And over there as well, I was able to get merit scholarship for being in top 3% of my batch. Apart from this, I was able to publish a paper in economics um, under an eminent professor of BITS Pilani. Apart from this, I wanted to explore myself a little bit more, and that's when I decided to participate in some extracurricular initiatives. For example, starting a consulting club in BITS Pilani, doing marketing for our entrepreneurship events called Coalescence. Because I was quite good at economics, that's when I decided to go to JP Morgan and try a stint in a pure financial role. But because I had some prior experience in some technical role at IIT Bombay, where I did internship over there for a few months, I decided that probably finance is not as much a field for me as is the tech role. So that's when I decided to switch to Revigo, because I always had it in me to learn about a startup culture and how a company gets built from the scratch. And that's when I landed up in Revigo, which is a startup started by an IIM Lucknow alumni itself. And over there, I was part of several exciting projects, one of them being the warehouse management system, multi-user scan system, etc. The journey over there was hectic, but quite rewardful. And over a period of time, I realized that I was limited by my knowledge in technology, and probably there was more to it than just coding on a desk, for understanding the business aspect, the social aspect, and what is beyond the closed doors of my office. So that's when I came to the conclusion I need to do an MBA, and I landed up in IIM Lucknow. In my free time, I like to do gymming and yoga because I believe a healthy mind leads to a healthy body leads to a healthy mind. And like to read some interesting books on history. For example, recently I read a book about called as Conundrum by Anuj Dhar, which basically focuses on the death mystery of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. So these are some of my interests. Again, a bit long, but I wanted to drive home a point that what many people have been doing in the CVHR slots that I have been taking is that they have been repeating their points in their resume as it is. Now, what this does is that this gives an impression that you have nothing interesting to talk about yourself, and that you're repeating whatever is written in your resume verbatim, probably shifting a few words here and there, and that doesn't gets anyone interested in you to begin with. However, if you look at the second version, I'm connecting all the dots that I have given in the resume with reasoning and logic and why I have done what I have done in my journey, in the course of journey of my life. Right. So this gives a different perspective of why is your resume the shape it is shaped, right? So it tells a story about yourself. And that's what anyone is interested to know when he or she asks, please introduce yourself, whether in brief or whether in a long manner, whatever. So my message in this video is to tell you that don't just say some important events of your life one after another, one, two, three, because that just gives a dry experience of your life, and that you're just doing things mechanically. But that's not how it is in reality, right? You have some thinking, some rationale behind what you have been doing since the past 25, 30 years of your life, right? So connect the dots and tell them why you have done what you have done, and if you have made mistakes, or if you have learned something, or if you have some perspective, explain that to them very clearly, because that is the starting point, and that's when the interviewer really tries to understand you as a person and not just as a probably a candidate or a skilled labor that he'll hire you for his company, right? So just wanted to drive home this point. Connect the dots, make a story. Storytelling is an art. It doesn't come easily at first, but it's something to begin with. And the more you practice, probably in front of a mirror, the better you'll get at it. Um, right. So jot down your points, main important points of your life. Prepare two versions. I always mention prepare two versions of your intro. One is a 30-second intro. I've also prepared it. In this, I touched a longer version of it so that the point of connecting the events of your life becomes quite clear, extremely clear. And prepare a 1 to 1.5 minute version of your intro, right? So that if even if the interview asks you, okay, Madhav, introduce yourself briefly, you can just quickly start with your intro and complete your introduction in 30 seconds, and that actually impresses the person because you actually introduce yourself in a crisp amount of time. So this is the point, right? So two things: connect the dots of your resume and life events, important life events. Second, prepare two versions: one 30-second, one around 1 minute or 1.5 minutes. Right. Thank you.